have a little break right now because Joe went to go pick up some blue thread from Walmart. We're going to be doing that apron next, the green one right there with the Santa Claus in the red suit. Santa Claus's boots on that pattern is so dark black that it almost looks blue. So that's why Joe bought a blue backing to go with that apron, but we don't have that color blue. We only have like a royal blue. So he went to go pick up thread for me so that I can sit for a while, because as you guys saw in the earlier clip, I stand a lot when we're doing these aprons because the table is not the right height for me to sit and iron and get all the pieces together. But I'm sure you guys saw that I'm the one that's assembling and directing Joe as to what to do, and all he does is brainlessly sew. He just sews. He just sews. We make such a good team because I know nothing about handling that machine or sewing, and Joe is so good now at sewing straight lines, but he doesn't know anything about assembling. That's the same thing that happened to us when we took sign language, you know. I learned to sign better than Joe did because I signed all the time, but he read my signs, so he learned to read better than I did because he was never signing back to me. So anyways, what can we talk about before I have to go get lunch ready? He made a roast in the pressure cooker. We have some white rice that's left over from yesterday, and I'm gonna go make some stir fry. I don't like to do chicken and stuff right before Thanksgiving. As a matter of fact, before Thanksgiving, I'll go into my Spanish type food, my black soup and my escabeche and tacos and stuff like that, because I don't want to spoil the taste of that turkey. Let me tell you something. When we went to Costco. When we went to Costco yesterday to pick up that little bit of groceries, that wasn't Thanksgiving shopping, by the way. We're not doing anything special for Thanksgiving. We're going to do the turkey, stuffing, rice and beans, potato salad. I'm going to do a lemon cake, a homemade lemon cake for Joe and Jory. My dad has asked for jam rolls, and I'm going to see what Josh and Jada really want, because they were saying at first they wanted that Oreo cookie dome thing that we did. But they might just want a simple chocolate cake. So we'll see. So that we're only going to have 3 desserts. And normally I have like 6, 8. I miss mommy. Because mommy used to request all these desserts and she would take a little piece home for herself. So anyways, back to the story at Costco. The guy that was checking people out the door, he told this one family, I was ear hustling. And he said, there was this one Thanksgiving that we had Vietnamese students, you know, that stayed with us, or foster kids or something like that. And he says, and we made the turkey the way their family makes the turkey, because they told us how to do it. And what we do is we boil the turkey first and then we baked it. And he said that was the most moist turkey that we ever had. So ever since then, that's how we do it. So y'all know I'm always about trying things differently. My turkey doesn't come out dry because I keep buttering it as we go along as we're baking. And I cook it on the chest, with the chest up first to make it brown. And then when I turn it down, I never flip it over again, because that's when all the juices go back into the breast part. But hey, I'm going to try what the man said, but I'm going to try it with a chicken first to see what happens. So I'm always listening to get new ideas, going into my British ideas, to share things like that with you guys. So let's talk quickly about all the sexual misconduct and sexual assault charges that are coming out against everybody. I mean, this is the year of women. I'm telling you, maybe the pastors were right when they said, oh, God appointed Donald Trump. Maybe he did, so that this can of worms could open, because it starts with him. Let's not get it twisted. It starts with him. The only thing that I worry about right now with all the women that are coming out, I hope somebody doesn't come out and start lying. That would just mess the movement up completely if some woman starts lying about being harassed or assaulted when it's not true. So anyways, Charlie Rose, he's been fired. I mean, what a creep. Let me tell you something. The Girl Scout just brought out a warning, I guess, an advice, telling the parents to tell the little girls that nobody deserves to have a hug from them if they don't want to hug the person, especially if that person gave them a gift for Christmas and they feel like they deserve a hug because of that gift. My mom was way ahead of that game a billion years ago, okay? My mom, first of all, my side of the family was never touchy-feely, especially my mom's side of the family. Very seldom did we hug, okay? And when I met Joe, his family was very hands-on and touchy-feely, and I couldn't stand it. They called me like a prude or something. Don't touch me. Don't hug me. Back up off of me. I never forced the kids to hug anybody from either side of the family just because they gave them a gift. It's good enough for you to just say thank you so much for the gift and express why you like it or whatever, but you don't have to hug that person unless you want to. I wouldn't stop them. So when Jory was little, he didn't want to hug Joe's sister, the one that showed us how to make the aprons. He was probably about 2 or 3, and he didn't want to hug her. Hello. And so I told him, at least you have to say good afternoon or good morning, because that's the Belizean tradition. You don't just walk into somebody's house and go hi and go in a room. You just good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, whatever. And I said you have to at least say that to her when you enter her house, but you don't have to hug her. And Jory pitched a tantrum. I think he was 3, and he stood on that front porch for like an hour in the heat. Because he refused. He goes, if I tell her good morning or whatever, she's going to want to hug me, and I don't want to hug her. And so, I don't know. Up to this day, she doesn't know why Jory never wanted to hug her. So, yeah, I never forced my kids. And my mom would tell us, don't let, men out there hug you. Be careful. Like if you go on the dance floor when we got to be older and you go to parties and like, let's dance. And there's nothing wrong with slow dancing with somebody else, especially if you keep a safe distance between their body and your body. But my mom would say, don't make no man play piano on your back. No, let me tell you what that is in English. Don't let no man play piano or keyboards on your back. And I'm going to show you what that is when Joe comes back, okay? And my mom says that's a clue. My mom would tell you clues, as to it. But my mom said another dirty one. So put the kids out the room. My mom was very, very open. She was what they call open packing. And she said, when we were little girls growing up like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, she said, don't sit on no man lap because you want to feel something hard. I'm not going to put that into English. You figure it out. And so I'm like, Mommy used to tell us stuff that was way beyond our age where we didn't understand what she was saying, but we just took it as a dire warning. So my kids were always protected. I don't let nobody sleep over here because they're not going to say nobody touched them. And my kids don't sleep over at nobody's house. And I just really got all that stuff from my mom. So let me tell you a story about, I want to tell you two quick stories before my battery dies. Let me tell you one first about Jada. When she was a little girl, she was probably going on to 5. She was getting ready to go to kindergarten. We would go pick up Jory and Josh from school. When I say we, me and my friend Linda, because she had a son that was in class with Jory. And we got there early because we had to fight for parking. So we would stand under the street and we'd chit chat. And there was this one dad that would come all the time to pick up his daughter. And he was kind of disabled. He walked funny with his leg and you could see that he had a trach or whatever. He was just always weird, but he was friendly enough with us that we talked with him. But every time we would arrive, you know, he would go to Jada and kind of like poke her in her mid, you know, navel area and go, "Hey, baby, you're so cute." And she wasn't like a baby anymore. She was 4.5 going on towards 5. And so Jada didn't like it. So every time Frank would come to us, she would hide behind my leg, you know. And so Linda noticed, and my friend Linda was like, "Barbara, you need to check this because Frank doesn't have any right to be touching her like this." And so by that time, remember I told you guys before that there's a teacher at the elementary school that he was touching the little girls, right? But he had tenure, so he never got fired. I think he might still be there. So anyways, Jada knew the story about what was going on with that teacher. And so the next day when we went to go pick the kids up from school, I told Linda that I was going to talk to Frank about, you know, the whole situation that day because I wanted him to stop touching her. And right before Frank pulled up to us, Linda says, "Barbara, you should let Jada handle it because she's going to go to kindergarten in like 4 to 5 months. And she needs to know to speak up for herself when people are touching her inappropriately." And so I told Jada, I said, "You tell Frank not to touch you, okay? I'm going to be right here with you." And so Frank came over and he was going to go do it. And Jada said like this, "Frank, don't touch me. You're a perv like Mr. Dharma." That was the name of the teacher. And he backed up. He was so embarrassed. He goes, "What? And I said, "Frank, she doesn't like for you to touch her." And we decided she needed to tell you. Well, we didn't know she was going to say that, but we decided she needed to tell you. I knew that the battery was going to die because I used the camera earlier today to record that whole first segment with Joe and I making that red and white apron because I want to have it as a reference point for the future. Like when we take a break from making the aprons, I want to be able to go back and watch that video and watch right at the beginning to see what we did because I don't want to mess up in the assembling in the future. Anyways, back to the story about Jada. The guy was embarrassed, but he understood after we explained. And we told him, we didn't tell her to say that. That's the way she chose to handle it. And so he understood because he had a daughter. So after that point, Jada handled herself well in school. She even handled people for her guy friends, okay? Jada's tough. Anyways, Joe just came back right now and I didn't do the stir-fried vegetables yet. I want to tell you guys a quick next story. When I was in college doing the radio broadcasting, we had 2 professors and they really picked a few students that they liked and they would send us out on job auditions. It's called auditions because it was to work in the radio business. So there came a time when it was my turn to go out on an audition at a radio station. And I think the job wasn't going to be DJ though. They were going to put me as an intern to like be in the sales department, so I would sell commercials. You got it, babe? Coming. I know, I thought you had it, babe. It's okay. It's darker than the other one you had. Yeah, so my professor's wife told him, don't send Barbara to that audition because she's not going to be able to handle the men in that industry. And even though I was only like 18 or 19, she said, they expect you to smoke and drink with them. And I don't drink or smoke. I never did then, and I don't do it now. And thank you, will you buy the clock? How much you get? 6 yards?
No. 3.
3 yards. Okay. So I saw $6.
Can I get Josh one?
Yeah, hang on. And don't make it right because I need it for my records. Yeah, so then one of the radio stations that they were sending me to is owned by somebody pretty famous. And just in case you guys are smart enough to figure it out, I'm going to say allegedly every step of the way because I don't have no proof of this. I can only go by what my teacher told me his wife said. But the wife says don't send the girls there because this guy is notorious for doing couch auditions. And this guy is pretty famous, owns a radio station. and he's blind. Allegedly, okay? Allegedly. I'm saying that every step of the way because I'm not going to be sued. But the reason that I want to say it now is because if something ever comes out, you guys will remember that I said that here. But I didn't have any connection to the person. I never met the person. And pretty much this is only word of mouth by what my teacher's wife told him about why he wasn't supposed to send the girls, you know, to that audition. So Joe and I are running some errands and then we're running home because I have to go do my live. Hey, you don't get to watch my show on Oprah's channel and not remind me that it's on, so I missed my whole show. I'm talking to you. It's hot. It was 89 degrees today, guys. Alright guys, thank you for coming in my live. Thank you for purchasing the aprons, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night with another vlog, okay? Bye! Yeah, daddy, you know, you kimono. You tell your papa?